Throughout history, humans and bears have been working together, coexisting in the same place. We have similar ways that we look. A lot of times bears will walk on their hind legs. Their facial expressions are similar to a lot of people's facial expressions. They're dexterous with their fingers. It seems that we have a special kinship between the two of us. And that kinship extends more from the feeling. It extends into the places we like to be. Humans like to fish when there's a lot of fish around. So bears and people are going to come into contact with each other in places like that. When you're in bear country, the first lesson of bear safety is to look for sign. Look at places where they have been, where they could be, places they want to be. Bear scat. Obviously, a bear's been here very recently. Bear tracks. Less obvious signs, subtle signs like trample down vegetation. This area is ripe with that kind of vegetation. It's obvious this is almost like a cattle yard for bears. They've been all through this country with their trails, with plenty of things to eat, with the pushki and so forth. Also, as you're going through bear country, look for places that they may be resting. You don't want to surprise a bear. If you stay in the open, you're going to be on their terms. If you go through thick alder brush or thick willow brush, that's a bear's bedroom. That's where they sleep. Just like we wouldn't want a bear to walk into our bedroom and surprise us. We'd get pretty defensive if they did that. Bears don't want us to surprise them when they're resting. So you stay out of a bear's bedroom. You don't go into those thick alders or willows. I've worked with a number of different animals in my career, and to tell you the truth, when I first came to Kodiak, it was on a bear research project, and I figured that I was going to be able to kill the biggest bear there was because I'd learned the most about him, and I'd grown up a hunter and so forth. And after working with these animals for about 6 months, to be quite honest, it's the only animal that I've ever felt I never could hunt. And there's a strange kinship, there's a strange personal bond that I felt with bears that I've never felt with any other animals. And I don't have a problem with hunters now. I manage a hunt. It's a viable population. It's a very legitimate reason for it, but it was something I just couldn't do personally. And a world without bears, to me, would be a much less rich world. To be able to coexist with these animals is so important. It's such a comment on our society to share our world with something else that's large and dangerous, potentially dangerous. Some people have joked it keeps you on your toes to be in the middle of the food chain instead of on top of it all the time. But, you know, a little more grounded type of idea is that having bears around is an indicator that we're doing something right in our stewardship of this world, that we can have top predators, that we can share with something that is equally or more powerful than we are. And to have that around, to be able to express that in such an evident manner as to have bears and people like we're seeing right here, right now, is a very strong message, I think. So that is the most important reason to have bears around in my mind. It's not an economic reason. It's not a biological reason either. It's more of a stewardship. It's more of an ethical reason to say that we can, as humans, live with other animals and do things the right way.